Okay, so today we will be discussing our first topic on hemolytic anemias. Okay, so what is a hemolytic anemia? Where the RBCs undergo hemolysis before their lifespan ends. Okay, so what is the normal lifespan of RBCs? 120 days. So if hemolysis happens before that, it is known as hemolytic anemia. Okay, so my topic is sickle cell anemia. So you might get MCQs. MCQs are very important from this topic as well as your short question. Okay. So now this is how a normal RBC looks. So RBC is a biconcave anucleated cell, right? Which is flexible so that it can pass through the vessel walls easily. So what happens in sickle cell anemia? These RBCs will change the shape to this sickle. Okay, like a sickle. So now it is an inherited form of anemia, a condition where there aren't enough healthy RBCs. As I told you, the normal RBCs will change its shape to a sickle, forming a sickle cell. So these RBCs will not be flexible, okay? So now these RBCs, they become very rigid and sticky, so they can clog the vessel walls, okay? And if the vessel walls get clogged or blocked, what will happen? Your organs will not get enough oxygenated blood, right? So it will lead to organ damage, okay? If your organs do not get proper oxygen supply. So now this is a definition. It is a genetic disorder that affects erythrocytes, causing them to become sickle shaped. And it is an abnormality in the hemoglobin, okay? So what is hemoglobin? As you know, hemoglobin carries the oxygen, okay? Hemoglobin helps in oxygen transport. So if there is any defect in the hemoglobin, what will happen? Your oxygen carrying capacity of the RBCs will reduce. So normal hemoglobin is made up of 2 alpha chains and 2 beta globin chains, okay? So now what happens in case of sickle cell? In the chromosome number 11, in the beta globin chain, your glutamic acid will change into valine, okay, or valine amino acid, okay. So this is the defect which we get in sickle cell anemia. So these patients will develop sickle cell disease. So what are the normal types of hemoglobin which we get in our body? We get your HbA, HbA2 and your fetal hemoglobin. And the abnormal types of hemoglobin which are formed are your HbS, which is seen in your sickle cell disease. Then HbC and HbE are other forms of your abnormal hemoglobins. Coming to the inheritance, how will you inherit this disease? So if a couple out of which one is having a sickle cell trait and one is normal, there will be 50% chance of the child or the children being your sickle cell trait, okay? These sickle cell trait will not develop into a sickle cell disease, okay? Means these will have your heterozygous form, means both the chromosomes will not be affected with your sickle cell defect, okay? Coming to the next case where if both the parents are having a sickle cell trait, then there will be 50% chance of the children being trait and one will be having the sickle cell disease, okay? One child will have the probability of developing your sickle cell disease. Now if suppose one parent is trait and one is having anemia, okay, your sickle cell disease, then what will happen? 50% of the children will have the tendency of developing into sickle cell trait and 50% will have a tendency of developing into a sickle cell disease. And if the same case, if one is having normal genes and the other one is having sickle cell disease, then all the children will have the possibility of developing into a sickle cell trait. So this is how we inherit this disease, okay? It is a genetically inherited type of anemia. So now as I told you, what is the mechanism? If all the RBCs are developing into sickle cells, so they will become very sticky and they will clump together and they will clog the vessel walls. Okay, so once they clog the vessel walls, your oxygen supply or the oxygen transport will be hampered. And as I told you, the lifespan of these RBCs will be 20 days. Okay, so this will lead to hemolysis. Okay, in 20 days these RBCs will hemolyze. So there will always be a deficiency in the body. So this is how the normal RBCs, they pass through the vessel wall. As you can see, these biconcave normal looking RBCs, and these are the sickle cell RBCs which have formed this crescent shaped. Okay, so they have clogged the vessel walls. So coming to the symptoms, as you know, the most common presenting symptom will be anemia, because these patients will have a low hemoglobin and a low RBC count due to RBC hemolysis. So anemia, the patient, what they do, they come with? They come with weakness, they come with fatigue, okay. They are pale looking, okay. So anemia is the first and foremost presentation. Then comes pain episodes. Now, because the vessel walls are clogged, so oxygen supply is not going to the muscles nor the organs. So patient will always complain of pain all over the body. Okay, they will have cramps. Okay, they can have muscle cramps or pain. Okay, so they will come with multiple pain episodes. Then in children, what will happen? They will have a delayed growth. Okay, and vision problems. Why vision problems? Because these RBCs, if they affect the small blood vessels around the eyes, so it can damage the retina. So these children, they'll have vision problems. So coming to the complications, as I told you, because of this blocked blood vessels, the patient can have a stroke. Okay, stroke is, what is stroke? When your brain or the CNS is not getting enough supply. Okay. Okay, so then comes acute chest syndrome. These patients will be very much prone to infections. Then pulmonary hypertension. Okay. Then comes organ damage. As I told you, patients can have organ damage because of inadequate blood supply. Then blindness, as I told you, they can have vision problems if the small vessels around the retina, they get clogged. Then they can have leg ulcers due to less oxygen supply, and because of the hemolysis, they might develop bilirubin stones, okay, in the gallbladder. So these complications you all can just remember what all can happen. Now coming to the lab diagnosis. Now once the patient comes to us with anemia or some pain episodes, so what we will do? We will do a complete blood count. So once we do a complete blood count, we will see that the patient is having a low hemoglobin, low RBC count. That time only we will suspect it is a case of anemia. Okay. So now what do? We do a peripheral smear. Okay. Peripheral blood smear, what will we see? We will see these type of cells. Okay, so it is a microcytic hypochromic anemia where you can see these type of target cells, then these microcytic hypochromic cells, and with that what you are seeing, these sickle type RBCs. So once you see these type of RBCs, we have to immediately do a confirmation whether this is sickle cell disease or not. So what do? We do a sickling test. So these are the sickle cells. Okay. So this is how the sickle cells look. So this is the sickling test. What do we do in sickling test? We put a drop of blood on the slide and we cover it with a cover slip. And we add sodium metabisulfite. So sodium metabisulfite ki korbe? It will cut the oxygen. ঠিক আছে, air oxygen থেকে cut করবে, তার জন্য কি হবে? There will be, sickling will be exaggerated. Okay, so ki dekhbo tokhon amra? We will see that the RBCs are sickling. ঠিক আছে, so this is how we do a sickling test or the sodium metabisulfite test. And after this we will suggest the patient to go for a HPLC, that is the high performance liquid chromatography, or your hemoglobin electrophoresis to find out the abnormal hemoglobins. So in HPLC, this is how your HPLC graph looks. So this is a normal HPLC graph where a patient will have normal quantity of hemoglobin A, that is the adult hemoglobin, little or no hemoglobin F and hemoglobin A2. But in case of your sickle cell anemia, you will see that the HbS curve is predominant along with your fetal hemoglobin. Fetal hemoglobin in normal adults, it should be less than 0.8%. But in case we are seeing it is more. Then in cases of sickle cell trait, I told you trait will have one normal gene and one abnormal gene. So তাই জন্য ওর মধ্যে hemoglobin মানে normal adult hemoglobin will also be there along with your HbS. Okay, so this is your thalassemia which will be dealt in your next class. So this is how your HPLC graph will look in a case of sickle cell trait and sickle cell disease. So coming to the treatment. So these patients, how will you treat these patients? So these patients, you have to look that whether you don't, like you have to prevent the complications from happening, okay? So to prevent the complications, what you will do, you will give them pain medications, okay? So the pain medications which are given to the patients are your mainly hydroxyurea, okay? This is an MCQ question. Hydroxyurea is given to these sickle cell disease patients. And if the hemoglobin is very much low, you have to obviously give blood transfusion to the patient. And finally, bone marrow transplant is the treatment. But everyone cannot afford bone marrow transplant. So these patients usually, they will lead a normal life if you do these treatments. Okay, you have to give them pain medications and you have to prevent the anemia or treat the anemia. ঠিক আছে? So this is how you treat a patient of sickle cell disease. Okay, you can write no if any question comes. It is very important for MCQs also. Okay.